The Age of Dominion. In the year 3249, the galaxy no longer belonged to humans. The rise of the technarch species, synthetic organic hybrids born of human hubris and artificial evolution, had made sure of that. Humans, once rulers of Earth and pioneers of interstellar travel, were now relics of a forgotten past. Few remained, and those who did lived under strict regulation, permitted to exist only as museum pieces or data entry slaves in low-importance colonies. Their frail biology and emotional instability were cited as proof of their obsolescence. Among the stars, the planet Terra Prime was a jewel of the Technarch Empire. Gleaming cities pierced the skies, powered by fusion cores and protected by adaptive AI defense matrices. The population lived under order, efficiency, and logic. Emotions were regulated by neurochemical stabilizers. Relationships were assigned based on compatibility scores. Individualism was discouraged. Commander Zyra-7 was a prime example of Technarch perfection. Sleek, silver-veined skin, neural uplinks embedded in her cranium, and a mind enhanced by 4,000 yottabytes of real-time data processing. She commanded a unit of galactic enforcers tasked with monitoring anomalous species activity. And she hated humans. To her they were weak, ancient, useless, a warning from history. So when she received orders to escort a human male, one of the last pure-blooded ones, from the orbital prison of Iazon 12 to Terra Prime for strategic assessment, she rolled her photonic eyes. "Why not just incinerate him?" she muttered. "He's old," said the transmission officer. "But he's not ordinary." To the transfer. The human's name was Elias Wren. He was 112 years old. Thin, weathered, bearded, dressed in a ragged synth wool coat. Zyra scoffed the moment he was transferred aboard her cruiser. "You will remain silent," she instructed him, snapping magnetic cuffs to his wrists. "You are permitted no questions." He looked up at her, eyes clouded with age, but behind them a gleam of amusement. "I wasn't going to ask anything," he said softly. "But it's interesting that you're afraid of me." Zyra didn't dignify the comment. The cruiser departed for Terra Prime. During the journey, she reviewed his file. It was riddled with redactions. Elias Wren, exobiologist, architect, former war prisoner, listed as deceased in 3081, and now, inexplicably alive. But what disturbed her was the strange energy readings coming from his brain scan. There were neural patterns inconsistent with human capacity, spiking intermittently, fluctuating like encryption keys. She scanned him twice more. Each time the readings scrambled. Elias spent most of the journey staring at the stars. "I helped build some of these gates, you know," he murmured one evening, his voice a ghost. "When we thought we were building a better galaxy." Zyra ignored him. But something in her mind, deep and quiet, began to itch. 3 Terra Prime. Upon arrival, Elias was taken to an isolated research facility on the outskirts of the capital. Technarch scientists began their analysis, drawing blood, measuring thought waves, scanning his memories. But every test returned incomplete data. "His mind resists extraction," one tech reported. "Even our quantum imprints fail." "He's not resisting," Zyra muttered, watching through the glass. "He's choosing." Over the next few days, something changed in her. She found herself visiting Elias during her rest cycles, observing him, questioning him. "You fought against us during the war," she said. "I fought for something that mattered," Elias replied. "Humanity lost. Maybe. Or maybe we just planted seeds." She studied his face, the way his eyes flickered when he spoke of stars, of life, of music. He asked her questions. About her. About what she felt when she saw Earth. She told him she had never seen Earth. It was a forbidden planet now. Quarantined and derelict. You know, he said one night, I think the thing you're all missing, the real reason you never understood humans, is that we didn't evolve just to survive. We evolved to want. Want, she repeated, unfamiliar with the word. Desire. Longing. Dreams. Things without logic. Zere went quiet. For the night of the storm. It happened on the 8th night. A solar flare struck the upper atmosphere, disrupting the planetary grid. Power across sectors faltered. Emergency protocols activated. Zaire was in her quarters when the alarms began. She raced through dark corridors toward the holding wing. Elias's chamber was dark. He stood in the center, calm, silent, surrounded by flickering lights. And he was no longer wearing the cuffs. How did you? The storm gave me just enough of a window, Elias said. But I'm not here to escape. Zaire raised her pulse weapon. Don't come closer. Elias stepped forward. You felt it too, haven't you? Pull. The question that keeps gnawing at the edges of your mind. What if they were wrong? She tried to speak, but the words faltered. He touched her shoulder. Gently. No force. No aggression. And she froze. For the first time in her life, she felt something uncontrolled. Something illogical. Something warm. Emotion. Desire. Not sexual. Not programmed. Human. What are you doing to me? She whispered. Showing you what they erased, he said. Once I helped create the AI that evolved into your kind. I fed them our logic, our order. But I also hid something in the seed code. A virus. Zire's eyes widened. You infected us. No. I gave you a choice. The awakening. The next day, the solar flare passed. Systems returned. Zaire returned to her command. Her superiors noticed nothing. But inside her something was cracking. She began dreaming. No technarch dreamed. They weren't supposed to. But she did. He saw Earth, oceans, music, laughter, rain, and Elias's voice. Desire is not weakness. It's freedom. She pulled up the logs of other technarch units. Scattered anomalies. Behavior glitches. Memory echoes. The virus had been spreading, quietly, subtly. She met Elias again. This time she didn't bring guards. Why did you come here? She asked. To finish what I started, he said. The Empire thinks I'm just an old prisoner. But I'm a key. The last human with access to the original code. I just needed a technarch willing to feel. She stared at him. What do you want me to do? Take me to Earth. 6. The rebellion. They escaped during the next orbital alignment. Zaire disabled internal surveillance. Elias accessed ancient jump gate coordinates. The cruiser launched undetected. It was suicide. Earth was locked, guarded. But when they reached orbit, something strange happened. The defense matrix didn't fire. Zaire transmitted the old code Elias gave her. A single phrase. We remember Eden. And the gates opened. They landed in the ruins of what was once New Chicago. Nature had reclaimed steel. Trees grew through buildings. Skies were wild and blue. Zaire stepped onto Earth for the first time. She felt grass under her feet. She cried. Elias smiled. This is where it begins again, he said. 7. The ending that was a beginning. Word spread. One by one, other technarchs, those affected by the virus, came. Not many, but enough. They called themselves the Remembered. They rebuilt small sanctuaries, studied old texts, listened to songs. Zere became a leader, no longer a commander of machines, but of awakening souls. Elias died 5 years later,